Hi, Arlo. Welcome to part two. So you remember this from class, but I wanted you to see it again. So focusing on the light source will help you create a donut that looks more dimensional. So that means it looks more 3D or more real, like you could reach into your picture and pick it up. So when you figure out which way the light is coming from, then you know where your shadows are going to go because they're going to go where the light beams can't hit it. The opposite of the light side is the dark side or shadow side. I want you to remember this little donut when we start adding shadows to the real donut because it'll be harder to see with all the dark brown. All right, here I am adding color to the frosting. So we talked about this as well. If you leave some white showing, then it looks like your frosting is glossy and it helps create more form. So I used kind of a light tan for the caramel, and then I'm doing a soft gray for the white frosting. Now I'm going to add shadows. So I am using a dark blue or a purple here. I can't remember for sure. But you see how when it goes over that brown, it makes it look like a darker version of brown. Later we will use black, but using a color like blue or purple over it will make it look a lot richer. Now I am going to be using some color pencils to layer over my markers because in markers you often don't have all the colors you need, and I don't have a lot of subtle grays. So I'm going to be adding light colors and grays to the plate in color pencil, just coloring on the white areas, but also overlapping and layering where I already have shadows on my plate. I'll find out that this isn't dark enough, and at the end I'm going to put some more gray marker on the plate, but at least I can create little bits of color and subtlety by using color pencil. All right, we're going to do some texture. So I have the brown marker, and you see those little squiggles and dots? That's what I'm laying over it so that I can create that weird crumbly texture of the topping. In a second, I'll zoom in and replay this clip of the video one more time so that you can see it even better. All right, here's a close-up of me doing the same thing. So polka dots and squiggles. And notice that I'm not covering up everything. You see that effect? Now all of a sudden it's more than just a solid layer of color. It has the same texture as the donut in your image. Sometimes when you're adding a lot of layers to marker, you will have to pause and let your paper dry a little bit. You don't want to rub on a paper that is already too wet because you could tear your art. So now I'm going to go in with blue, which is a little bit stronger than the brown, right? We used it earlier to make our shadows. So I'm doing that same texture, but with blue, just on the darkest parts of the texture. Next, I'm going to grab a black Sharpie and I'm going to add texture in dots and squiggles, but just a little bit, not a lot. And I only want to do it where I want it to be really dark. So the majority is going to be on the shadow side. I'm also going to use this to create shadows underneath my frosting drizzle. I just noticed that my frosting, where it goes into the donut hole, is way too bright. So I'm grabbing a brown and I'm just going over it. See how it's see-through? And that makes it look like it's real? All right, now I'm using brown to add shadow to the bottom of the donut, and I'm using a little peach to help me blend it. So if you are fast, you can use two colors to blend in marker. Just be really careful about your paper tearing. All right, I'm going to use a whiteout pen. I'm going to use it to highlight my frosting. Just give it a little bit extra shine. And then that chocolate topping on the donut has so many little crumbles. I'm going to use it to create highlights on them and to make that texture really show up. So I'm putting on little dots and then I'm patting it with my finger to kind of smash them. Then I'm going to go over with a warm gray and some brown and any colors that I already used in the donut. See how I'm staining the white so it doesn't look as white anymore? Now the texture on the donut blends right in and it looks like it was always there. So now I'm going back in with my gray on the plate just to overlap and kind of smooth things out again. Okay, Arlo, I hope you had fun. Let me know how it goes and I'll see you in class.